Here we go. We're live. Let's do it. Welcome to Down and Dirty with the Badger State Traffic. Brought our dirty friend Craig with us. All right, Stanley, take over. I'll be home in a bit.
Jason's on the road trying to get home to help us out. But welcome everybody Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Greg Elsing with me, and none other than Craig Ladwig from Cascade, Wisconsin. Craig has the Pro Stock Never Given Up, or the old Pro Stock Never Given Up, which he sold, and is going to debut his new tractor here pretty quick. Welcome, Craig.
Oh, good evening.
How you doing?
Cold tonight, but so far so good, I guess.
I was just wondering, are you going to keep the same name for the new tractor?
Yeah, the same main name. You know, we built that tractor. I don't know how many people know the history behind it, but our original Pro Stock years ago was called Madness, and then we had sold that whole operation when my oldest son Bryce was diagnosed with cancer, and we got out of it for a couple of years. And then when we decided to get back into it, when it looked like Bryce had turned the corner and everything was going well, we built a new component tractor and named that Never Giving Up. So the name's kind of special to us. So yeah, we're gonna keep it. I might have a hashtag something after it, but yeah, still got the main name to it.
Okay. And Bryce is all good now?
He's 22 years old, graduated college, cancer-free, living life the way he should be going forward. Yep.
Works at Equity, I think, right? Livestock?
Yeah, he's I guess I don't know what his official title is, but he purchases steers and hogs and works the auctions, and I think there's an opportunity for him to actually become an auctioneer if he wants to go down that road. But he's always been the kid that liked animals more than tractors, so it's kind of a good job for him right now when he's right out of college.
Yeah, you like your job.
Besides you on that tractor, I remember when you guys did that and the artwork on that, and I don't know if a lot of people know, but to the fans that don't know, that side panel is pretty awesome, and the pictures of those hands wrapped around that heart are actually your hands.
Right. We were, and I believe he's still in business. Psychology and Chris Hovarth. You know, we were holding a beach ball, and he kind of took a picture and airbrushed that whole thing on there. So the ribbon on there, you know, it has a very personal meaning because that's the ribbon of childhood cancer. And you know, then there's a big heart in the background, and me kind of holding on to that heart. And I have zero artistic ability in my head. So when you can find somebody that can take what's in your mind and put it on paper, it's pretty cool.
That was that's amazing. That tractor is a beautiful tractor. Those side panels. Did you keep the side panels?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the tractor itself, to be honest with you, it was parted out all over the country. I had it for sale for the longest time. I wanted to keep it all as one. And with COVID hitting, it made individual parts off that tractor worth way more because somebody was looking for a set of injectors, somebody was looking for a turbo. So parts of it are in a Alice Chalmers diesel super stock, parts on a semi truck. 4-1 class got some of the parts. Pro Stock got some of the parts. It's kind of cool when just to see where that stuff all went when it was all said and done.
Did you get rid of the chassis and the sheet metal and everything? Everything's gone on.
Well, I mean the chassis from the roll cage forward's all brand new.
Okay.
Chassis, the roll cage is the same, but well, as you know, the planetary setup was all upgraded to the 4-gear planetaries, and the rear end was all upgraded there. So I mean, that stuff really didn't change much. But besides the roll cage, it's going to be an all brand new tractor.
Okay. I seen it the other night. I was down. The new tractor is coming along.
Yeah, it's getting there. They put the motor in today. So the motor got Lumpkes are working on the motor, and Craig Wildman and that crew is working on the sheet metal and the body work. So we're getting there. We got 14, 15 days before we have to leave. So he's got a bunch of them sitting there.
He does.
No problem.
Right. I mean, let's be honest here. If it's not the midnight before the first pull, what good are you? I mean, that's how every tractor gets finished.
It wouldn't be any good luck. Wouldn't be good luck if it wasn't that way.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you've been putting this together for about a year, hasn't it? Is that about the length of time?
Yeah, I mean, we dropped it off after I guess, what would it be, the 21 season, and then we were going to upgrade just some specific parts of the tractor, and as COVID hit and got worse, stuff just wasn't available, and it made what we had. It was all in working condition. It just needed. I mean, every class is this way, but in a pro stock class specifically, I mean, this technology is. I mean, I've had parts on the tractor that were outdated before I ever took it down the track one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That time frame putting it together, though, the cool part about it is you're antsy. I'm sure you wanted to get it out earlier, and the stars and moons not aligning. But boy, the patience you've had with this thing is going to be a nice piece when it comes out, and there's a lot of people I think going to really like it.
Well, guys like Greg and Randy Baru, and that built motors last year with this engine program, and it's in a pretty specific engine program. I hate to say it, but they were the guinea pigs on this engine program, and it didn't cost me any money to watch, but I guess I'm reaping the benefits of what they figured out last year with the billet block and the stuff that went with it.
Right. I don't like being the guinea pigs either, but it ended up being that way. But we didn't have too many problems. It's just getting them dialed in, getting them to dyno. Hopefully, was Robbie able to dyno your motor?
Yeah, I guess a lot of the part, not the block itself, but everything else, just to put a run on it. So yeah, I mean, everything is so similar with the group of guys that are doing this program there. So it's, we're not dynoing to find horsepower per se, because they're all pretty identical.
Yep. Makes it easier, and it'll run. Robbie knows right where to set them things. He's been around the block a couple times. He's got it figured out.
Yep. Now it's just a matter of, and I talked to you the other day about it. I mean, the tires are changing just as fast as some of the engine components these days, and by the time you get a set of tires you think is going to work, they come out with something new or a different brand, and that's frustrating too. Buying tires that are obsolete before you put them on the tractor.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not in a position to buy a set of tires and hopefully they work. I've got to know that they kind of work, so you can figure them out. Sometimes you got to give them more than one chance.
Yep.
We tried the Parks tires last year. Randy ran them, and I had a set on when we went to Louisville. And after watching the video of Randy's, we didn't know what to do, so we switched tires and just put the whole shots on from Wildman's tractor, and it did hook up good. But we had another issue before I got halfway down the track.
Right.
But
that's been the problem, is switch so much stuff all at one time. When you look to blame why didn't it work, you really can't pinpoint it because you have so many different on the tractor.
Right.
You got to make a few passes to kind of figure out what direction you need to go. But folks that are just joining in, we got Craig Ladwig on here. So a few of them jumped in, I'm sure a little bit behind, but Craig Ladwig had Never Given Up, new pro stock that's going to be debuted in Louisville for the first time. Have you ever been to Louisville and pulled, Craig?
Yeah, we pulled, I'm going to go 15, 20 years ago with the Madness tractor. And then either the first year out or second year out with the Never Giving Up tractor, we were down there. But my boys are all wrestlers, and winter sports and indoor tractor pulling don't go hand in hand very well. So Jaden, our youngest son, graduated, and wrestling's over with, and so it freed up for a little extra time, and that's kind of why we applied to get down there once again.
Yep.
Awesome.
Your second son is playing football somewhere. You want to tell us about that a little bit? How that's going?
Yeah, he's over in Ames, Iowa, playing for Iowa State. It's crazy. I mean, it's he just finished his second season, so I guess I don't know if he's considered a redshirt freshman or a freshman this year, but loving it. They just moved him to center, and he's going to learn a whole new position there. But it's a full-time job. Anybody that tells you any different is never been involved in a Power 5 Division I sport. I mean, them kids deserve every dollar they get right now because they're busting their ass 12 months out of the year.
Well, he must be feeding him pretty good down there too. I seen a picture on Facebook at Christmas. He looked like he's gotten a little bigger even yet.
Right. He yeah, and with the egg prices and protein prices doing what they're doing, I'm glad he's back in Ames, Iowa, because they can feed him.
You can't feed a pro stock and him both, you know.
Oh, I mean, you don't get home from the restaurant and he's already going through the cupboards looking for something else to eat as soon as he gets back home. But
right.
You played
great kid.
football in college, didn't you?
What's that?
You played football in college too, didn't you?
Yeah, not at that level, just at the Division III level. And I will tell you that a 300-pound lineman should not go downhill skiing because that's what ended my my career, I should say. It blew out my knee real bad, and that's fine. Things happen for a reason, but he's doing awesome, and I can't wait to go down there this summer and watch him again because I thought Lambeau Field was crazy with tailgating and all that, but Ames, Iowa takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, wow. That's cool.
Right.
That's well. Getting back to pulling, going down to Louisville again, Kentucky. What's it mean to you to get down there and be invited?
Well, there's just nothing like it when you're on them sidelines looking at the crowd, and shutting all the lights off and introductions and all the songs and all that. It's just an honor. I never thought in my career that I would have a pro stock, let alone, be invited to go pull at a prestigious event like Louisville. It's truly just an honor. And when I get to go with my competitors, you and half the pro stock class, that makes it even better. Especially if one of us, I don't care who it is, but somebody should make the finals, hopefully, and rally around them and see how it goes. Right.
It's exciting to watch your friends that you pull with all summer down there, and we all work together when we get down there to figure stuff out. And it's fun, and we're all camped out together close by and have a lot of fun.
Right. Absolutely.
I've been going for 32 years in a row now. This will be my 32nd year since I missed one.
Well, it's been I'm going to say 10 years since I've been down there. It's going to be a lot cheaper for me this year because I don't drink anymore and I don't have to get corrupted by you guys down at downtown and everywhere.
I think I forgot you one time in a bar down there, didn't I?
Oh, don't worry. Mark Ruff got me home.
Yeah, it was time to go. It was time for me to go.
Absolutely. But you make memories. Maybe you don't all of them, but you make a lot of them. You make a lot of friends. Yeah. We don't see everybody on the national level like we used to, but it's kind of there. Even if you're not pulling, you seem to be there.
Yeah, to get to visit with everybody.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I really ever make it into the farm show.
I usually get in there for a little bit, but there's years I know I've been there that I haven't,
Right.
But, it's neat to go to the farm show there too and see all the new stuff. If you want to see something you're thinking about buying or something, that's the place to go to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Usually you can find somebody else that might have it. You can talk to them and see, hey, is this something that works for you or not?
Right.
It takes about 2 days to walk through the farm show. If you want to see everything, it takes 2 full days. I did that the one year, and man, I think my feet hurt for a week.
Well, I remember years ago they always said you take the boots that you wear every day down there because, you know, if you're used to wearing work boots, you wear the work boots and walk around there because it saves a lot of blisters and sore feet.
Yep, that's what I do.
Tennis shoes, work boots, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool place. I always loved going there. I think I made a 12-year in a row stint down there with the Wildman group, but the job that I have now doesn't, it's very hard to get away to go do that. But I miss that place. I love going there.
You're busy keeping all the roads open for us to leave the state, huh?
I'm just helping out the ones that are doing that. So.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, what night do you pull on, Craig?
Saturday afternoon.
Or Saturday afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of, I don't think we've ever pulled there Saturday afternoon. So you know, you're not taking your tractor, you know, getting down there ultra early. It's also my busy season. I don't know if a lot of people know it, but I also own a crop insurance agency. So, you know, this is our busy time before March 15th. And so, you know, we'll go down Wednesday morning and be down there for the week. But I think we pull with Robbie on Saturday afternoon, I believe.
Is it just you and Robbie on Saturday afternoon from Wisconsin?
I believe so. Yep.
Yep. So that'll be good. There's good competition every night, though. It's tough. There's no, you know, you can't say that I wish I was pulling this night or that night because you never know.
Right.
You know, I applied for Saturday night and they didn't put me in there. That was my first choice.
No,
I thought that'd be the easiest.
Yeah,
but it didn't work.
You got to earn that one.
I guess. Yeah. But you got a plan? You got a game plan for down there or not?
Well, somebody asked me the other day. He says, "What happens if that sand pile's coming up awful fast?" And I said, "Well, I hope they got a welder on site."
You're not backing out of it, right?
Because I don't know. It's probably stupid to hit it that hard if you're really moving, but you only live once. It's only welding, right?
And you don't want to be the dope that backed out of it and didn't make it.
Well, right, and we've all seen that happen way too many times. Yep.
Dean Monty on board tonight. The real Dean Monty must be on board.
Dean Monty. He's coming down. We got some tickets for him. I don't know. I think he's coming down Thursday and Friday or something. Last time I talked to him, I'm not sure if the plans changed or stay the same. How's it going, Dean? Tell us when you're coming. So we can get you down there. He's always a good guy.
We had to buy a whole row of seats because if anybody's seen my boys and them little Louisville seats, Lord help, had to sit next to us or in between us. So we figured, we'll just get a couple extra just in case.
Yep. Evan gonna be able to come back? They let him go.
That's kind of going to be a day-to-day. We'll know that the week of. So sometimes they have practices on that Saturday, and obviously he doesn't want to miss anything there first. So he'll love to be there, and we'll come there if at all possible. But if not, he'll have to live stream the event.
Yep. Well, that's good. He'll be able to go to Louisville other years. He better stick to what he's doing there.
Absolutely.
Right. So
how many? Good evening, everybody.
Go ahead, John.
Chuck Hobbs is on saying good evening to everybody, and then Dean Monty tentatively planning Wednesday and Thursday night with a question mark.
Perfect.
If there's anybody that's got questions for Craig Ladwig on board here with us tonight, please post them and we'll ask them. So the new tractor, your new tractor Pro Stock, is it a Case IH, Brent Geik asked?
Is the new tractor a Case IH?
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm gonna let it be a little secret until we get there at Louisville, but it will not be red.
Will not be red.
That kind of pains me a little bit. I got to be honest. But it's just been, towards the end there, the last couple of years, I know those Chaos guys are building a red motor again, but it was extremely difficult to find the red tractors just seem to struggle, and there's not a lot of availability anymore. Hypermax certainly isn't in the game like they used to be, and Robbie's program is primarily all green, and I know he's got a couple of red motors out there still, but I don't know. It just I would have loved to have done a red motor if I felt confident of being on the top, but it just history lately anyways not working that way.
Well, you read pull off and all that about the chaos motor. They're moving the head bolts and stuff, right? That wasn't supposed to be legal, but I guess it happened, right? Or then they said it was okay now, or what?
I read what everybody else reads. I don't think the issue was so much the relocation of the head bolts and all that versus the process or procedure in which they got it approved, is what I got out of it. And I just read what everybody else read.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was just an NTPA ruling, and I got that off of with the orange tractors there.
All right. Ceramic.
Yep.
Yeah, Ceramic's posted that.
There, but I don't know if Pro Polling League made a decision on that or what. I don't know that answer.
Evan Ladwig is on board here tonight. Him.
Hey, there he is.
Favorite pull to pull at?
My favorite pull to pull at, and I might. They're the NTP events, but I love the Sandwich Fair. I like the fair itself, and I like the pull itself. It's fun to get two pulls in one day. Hillsboro has always been a family favorite. At the Badger State level, boy, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Talk to my boys; they like Mazomanie because of the pork chop sandwiches.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah, absolutely. But
they sell these kind of pork chops there too. That's kind of
nice. Right. There you go. He's bigger now. He's 6'6", 300 pounds now.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a little guy.
He was about 250 when he got out of high school, right?
Yeah, 250, 260. He was a wrestler too, and that drew him down pretty good. But he has actually what I think I need is a hyperactive thyroid. So that kid could eat everything and not put a pound a week on. So they got that all figured out, and now he seems to be doing better that way.
Yeah. They must have pork chop sandwiches in Ames, Iowa too, huh?
Yeah, well, and I'm sure a beer every once in a while.
Yeah.
No.
But believe it or not, they got pretty strict rules with all that drinking and going to bars during the season. I mean, they're not even allowed to go into a bar, even if you're 21 during the season.
No, that's a good rule, though.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So, what kind of tires did you end up with, Craig, on your tractor?
A year ago, I switched to Bob Nichols, and we put the 14 ply hole shots on, or that's what we're gonna start out with.
Right, them are good tires.
Right. And I actually have they'd be Denny Brown's old set off his Green with Envy tractor, a set of 12 plies, and I don't know. I think I've got them sold, but might keep them just in case. I'm not 100% sure.
Keeping a second set of tires is expensive, but if you have to have yours sent out to Nichols is a long ways away, to get them back right away. That's a big process and a big hope if something ever happens to them.
Right. Nope, I totally agree, and that's something I've never done ever in my pulling career is have a second set. Like you said, we can hardly afford to get a new set, the way it is every year.
Right. Yeah. So Schultz is on here. You got any questions for him, Jason?
Well, I'm a big Craig Ledwig fan my whole life, as we all know. I put his Pro Stock Never Given Up on our Churn and Dirt t-shirts back in the day. I still have that t-shirt, Ledwig. So
I think we do too.
Yeah, I love that. So no, it's just good to it's been fun to watch your boys grow up, and it's been fun. You know, you and I have stayed good friends over the years, and you've always we text back and forth a lot, and great to have you on the show tonight. It was neat to see John and Greg texting back and forth with you today. I don't want to ask anything because I decided to meet a customer in Hillsboro at 6:15, thinking I could do a quick application and speed home. Well, I didn't quite make it, so I didn't want to ask any questions that the guys have already talked to you about, or different things like that. But where did your pro stock go? That's a question I have.
Well,
we kind of covered that.
Yeah, we covered a little bit, but part of it went. A lot of it actually went to the East Coast. Some went to Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin. Eric Wettenkamp, he's kind of a newcomer to the Badger State group. He's working on putting together a different tractor, or I don't know if it's a second tractor because he's got a bunch of them, but the hood and all that stayed in Wisconsin, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's putting together a hot farm to run with Badger State. I know that, so I'm guessing that's where your sheet metal went. I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but he's one of my friends on the Snapchat, so it's all good. But he pulled down. He had his other tractor down in Monroe this past September down there at the Green County Fall Nationals. So
good guy.
Very good guy. Did you guys talk about your Hall of Fame inductee this year at all? I got that up on the screen right now, Greg or John.
Nope. We haven't done that yet.
Oh, nothing. Nope.
Well, I'm gonna give you guys things to talk about. I'll put things on the screen and then you talk about it. Okay, that's how this works. So.
Yep. So, Craig, you were vice president for how many years?
14 roughly.
Yep. And I think when you stepped down, didn't Jason take your spot?
Yeah, he kicked me off, but yeah.
Other than that, you still like him.
Oh yeah. You know what? I mean, I've been involved in a lot of different boards with the athletics and the meat animal sales over here, and they're just, you know, and Greg, you've been under forever, so that you might not like to hear this, but there's going to come a time where it's just nice to get new blood in there, and
it is.
It's frustrating at times because you ask for help and you ask for volunteers and all that other stuff, and everybody seems to look down and not give you eye contact. And I've never been that way. I mean, I enjoyed. I mean, it was, you know, Badger State was in a way different place than it is today. I can tell you that when I got on, and not because of anything I did. It just things have really changed.
Well, we all did it together. You know, we all bounced ideas off each other all the time.
You know, back in those days, and now I'm going to age myself, but we used to pull twice, you know what, 10,000 and 11,000 pro stocks.
Yep.
And you'd pull twice at night, and you'd lump them wheel weights or suitcase weights, and you know, it was fun. It was different. You know, obviously way less horsepower.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think back then a pro stock he had 12 or 1,400 horses was the big ones, right?
Well, I remember. So I don't know if anybody remembers Brian Look. He was the owner of the original Madness tractor, and when I first started hanging around there, he pulled a lot of West Central. Mark Holberg, Jerry Runo. I don't know if you remember those Twister tractors down there. The Caterpillar. And that was just a 3x4 turbo. And then one night, Brian Look met with Dwayne Hook, and we bought our first pro stock turbo. And at that time, I believe it was a 3.9. Yeah, $1,500 for a 3.9 pro stock turbo.
Yep,
I love it.
Yep. And we still ran. I mean, we didn't have a roll cage on it first, and we were hesitant at the time, and you know, P pump, and you know, just like everything else, it's an addiction. I love people more than I like the tractor. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean to have lifelong friendships with everybody. You know, I mean, I everybody within Badger State, but specifically the pro stock class. I mean, it's pretty cool. I call and talk to Gary Brinkmeyer on a fairly regular basis, and I mean, that guy is just amazing. You know, I enjoy every conversation I have with him.
Yep. I think he's coming to Louisville, and I think he leaves for Arizona right from Louisville. He has the last couple of years. I'm not sure if he's coming this year, but I know that's what he's done before.
I had heard he was going to be in Arizona and was going to come back to Louisville and then go back to Arizona, but I could be wrong.
No, really, you might be right. I haven't talked to him for a while.
Right,
so,
right.
You probably better than I would.
Yeah, but yeah, that whole Hall of Fame thing. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it before, but you know, I felt like I wasn't old enough to be worthy of such an honor. But you know, when you put together your Dennis Fry called and asked me to put together kind of a bio, and I guess when you look back and you've done it since the late '80s, you know, it spans quite a few decades.
Yep. What was your first year pulling with Badger State?
I'm going to say 92, 93.
Yep, that's right when I started too.
Yep, and we used to we used to hit you know, Racine County Fair and Elkhorn and Woodstock and Freeport, and you know, a lot of those were non-sanctioned, just open pulls when we first started. And the tractor, I remember that tractor, the original Madness tractor, it still planted corn in the spring before it got converted over to a pulling tractor.
Really?
Yep.
So I'm gonna tell the story the first time I seen you, Craig, walking through the pits. You had 150-pound wheel weight in each arm walking across the pits. And you walked over to the trailer and you just took your arm and you set him in the wheel. Walked around the other side, took one arm, put it in the other wheel. And Dennis Fry was standing next to me, and I said, Dennis, whatever we do, let's never mess with that guy. But John was carrying him with you too.
Yeah, do not make him mad. Do not make him mad.
Yep. Well, back in the day when I first started hanging out with Brian Look, that guy was crazy with he had a huge business with small square bales, and he would always get me to come tractor pulling, and then we'd have to unload a half a dozen wagons before we'd ever left. And I still attribute to my strength, you know, was never from a weight room. You know, it was you know, my grandfather had an old WD Alice with a trip bucket, you know, and you know, you just built, you were just farm kid strong.
Yep.
And I'd like to say I can still do that, but I'm fairly confident that that's a memory of the past.
Yeah, that's 30 years gone by, right?
Right.
What I'll say. Go ahead, John.
I just said, but you did it. So
I did at one time. I think yes. Well, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have the aluminum rims, and so the tractor had the wheel weights, and that, you know, if I remember correctly, I mean, there were times where we weighed that tractor up to 14,000 pounds at some of these open pull events, and couldn't hang any more weights anywhere on that tractor.
Yep. We did the same thing.
Right.
Hey, what's that say? Outfit the old man now.
Yeah, the boys say his boys outlift the old man.
Yeah.
Well,
they should.
It's their turn. Yep.
It's
their turn.
I'll say something about baling hay. You know, I was in the weight room when my youngest son was still in high school there, and they had a picture on the wall of one kid that benched 275 pounds. I don't know, 10 years before that, and there was no other names there. And I'm thinking about, you know, I had a guy in the class ahead of me played in the NFL and stuff, and all the farm kids there that we all benched 300 pounds in the offensive line back there, but they didn't put your name on no damn wall. Right. You know, so that's
I don't know how you are, Greg, but when I tell stories of my childhood, they just laugh at me because they just think that sounds so stupid to be true. You know, you actually used to ride your bike and did shit without a cell phone.
Right. Yeah, the kids were out, and you know, myself, we baled 80,000 small square bales when I was young. Dad bought a brand new baler one year, and I just know at the end of the year it had 80,000 bales on it.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were 40 to 60,000.
And we never had a silo. I was so happy the first time a silo went up.
Right.
Eliminated half of them, I thought.
Yeah.
You know, because you handled that bale 10 times before it was gone.
Absolutely. And my grandfather, he used to make us stack them in the wagons even before they left the field.
Yep, we did too. Yep.
Yeah, there's a picture of Bryce. you know, being the cancer survivor that he was, he won an award his senior year of high school. He begged and begged and begged for the orthopedic oncologist to let him play football. And anybody that knows Bryce knows that he is a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. So that picture you got there, Jason, you can see Bryce wearing his purple shirt. But he won an award called the Spirit of the Sport Award, which was for kids who overcame life-threatening adversity and got to compete in a high school sport. And Aaron Rodgers was the MC that night. So he asked Aaron for a selfie, and you know, that's probably before he got it all involved in his ayahuasca bullshit. But nice guy that year.
Yep. Well, didn't Bryce shoot trap too and did real well?
Yep, Bryce and Evan were both national qualifying trap shooters, and yeah, they wrestled. Well, Bryce didn't wrestle, but wrestling and football and trap shooting, and the whole family shows cattle and has for their whole junior careers. So it's, you know, I'm selfish enough with the tractor, and one day I would love to get Bryce on the seat of this tractor, and I know it's a different animal than it was 10 years ago, and it's hard just to jump on these things these days and take it down the track, but someday maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, good. Well, that's one of the things I enjoyed about pulling through, just as you have said, Craig, watching all the kids grow up and knowing their stories and paying attention to them, you know, and all the kids that are in this pulling family are pretty dang good kids.
Absolutely.
You know, and I expect somebody to kick my kids' butts if they're out of line, and I'll do the same for anybody else.
Absolutely. But, you know, at the end of the day, I can't help but think that, you know, agriculture in general helps, you know, around these kids, maybe, I think, to a different level. It teaches them a little more work ethic, because we had to get stuff done on the farm, and they're the ones that helped, you know, mom and dad get it done.
Yep. Well, you counted on your family and your kids to help with chores.
Absolutely. And, you know, obviously, you know, the support of family is extremely important, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yep. Well,
how old's your daughter now? You have a daughter too.
I do. Brianna, she's going to be 14 here coming up shortly. So, you know, she's the youngest of four. Jaden, my stepson, he'll graduate in March as a welder, and he's anybody that knows the I don't call it the sport of welding, but the art of welding knows that, man, oh man, those guys can create some artwork that not only looks cool but works.
Yep. So anybody else got any questions for Craig or stories?
Yeah, I don't know about the stories. I live a pretty quiet life these days. The stories, as we're getting too old, we forget about them.
Right. Well, some of them you need to forget about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I see that. I'm not sure what that whole big announcement thing is that Jason had all over the internet down at Louisville there, but that looks kind of interesting.
Kathy Gallis, hi.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Kathy. But yeah, we'll find out down there. A lot of guys today, it was the thing to send out to sign up for it.
Yep. And that's non-related to the Pro Pulling League, or it is?
It's non-related to any sanctioning body, the way it sounds, right, Jason? Jason might be not with us anymore, huh? But yeah.
Put pictures up yet?
He's putting pictures up, so he must be there. Well, if I cut out before we're done, guys, it's because my phone's gonna die.
Uh-oh.
It just came up low power mode battery, whatever, but
You'll make her.
Put it on a charge. Emily's here, she can help me charge it up. So good grief, she says.
Craig, who else helped you with the tractor that would it be your crew or I know one person.
I'll be honest with you. I mean,
I can't see it. There it is.
the tractor and our friendship goes back when on the job and it was also servicemen, and the combination of them two, boy, his attention to detail and knowledge of a diesel motor, just is perfect for the sport. So we got a couple other guys that help us here and there, and but for the most part, it's just him and I and our families when it works for him.
Say his name again. We kind of lost.
Glenn Valenstein.
There you go. Now I can hear you good.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Brandon Coates looking forward to pulling with again in 2023, Craig. So he's looking forward to pull with you.
We're excited. It's going to be a totally different look, and kind of a, I don't want to. I mean, you've seen it. Kind of a one-off. Nothing really like it out there right now. So you're going to talk about it good. You're going to talk about it bad. But either way, you're going to talk about it.
It's going to be a great addition to Badger State.
Yeah. Well, that's when I'll be honest, when Craig Wildman kind of pushed the idea onto me, at first I was reserved, and then the more you look at the diversity within the Badger State class, there's even at the national level, there's not a pro stock class that rivals what Badger State has in color and quality.
Yep. And the numbers we're getting, we're going to have 12, 14 of them if they ever all show up.
I think at the banquet a couple months ago there, I counted 21 pro stocks were represented there. Now, like you said, if they all show up and we know our friend Jason Rowan, that guy buys and sells more pro stocks than I'll ever do in my life. But I'm sure he'll have a handful of them there every year, and there's a lot of new ones that are coming out that should be out this year, hopefully.
Yeah, well, Brandon Coates was just on there. They're building another one right now. They're staying home from Louisville just to keep building on it.
Yep.
Get it done.
Yep. I mean, Carl Kahn, his is close. He's just waiting on a couple bolt-on parts and that'd be great to see him back out. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything. Feller's got his hopefully close to coming out.
Who's that?
Chris Feller.
Oh, Feller, he's got something coming. That'd be another different color in the club too that we don't have. Absolutely. And I know some of the guys want to do some national stuff, and I don't blame them. That there's a heck of an investment in some of these vehicles, and it's nice to go to some big events outside of Badger State. And it's not because we don't love Badger State. It's just we want to go somewhere else every once in a while. Yep. When you're talking about Carl Kahn there, I was laughing at it to myself because I know he's changed his ring and pinion 3 times to speed it up. He's never gone down the track with it. His tires might be right behind that change. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the tractor. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's still a case, and it needs to come out. I give him a hard time every time. I say, you know what our club needs is a case pro stock. Every time I see him, think anybody can get one done? I said, because it's probably been 15 years since he's had that out, right? Ooh, I mean, I remember I was flagging that day down in Freeport when it exploded. It's got to be all of that. It hasn't been out since I built my first component, and that's been 11 years. Yeah, so it might even be longer than that. Oh, it has to be, right? Yep. Right, but again, it's all there. He's just waiting for a couple bolt-on parts. Well, that's the same with Chris Feller too, because I remember when he started building, he bought a 5.4 turbo because that was the big turbo then, and I don't think anybody's using that anymore, really. I doubt it. When you first built the pro stock, how big was the turbo you put on? No, mine was a 5.15, but there was already 5.4s out. That's just the one the checkbook would cover. You're right. But right. It went all right. It was updated a little bit, and we did well with it.
Yep.
Thomas Wright has a question for you, Craig.
Okay.
It's a question we usually ask a lot of the pullers that we kind of took from one of Jason's buddies. But if you had an opportunity to drive somebody else's pulling tractor, pulling truck, at any pull, anywhere, either past or present, no questions asked, jump on. If it breaks, it breaks, but have your day. What would it be and where would it be?
Does weight matter?
Nope.
I mean, Ken Venny's mini rod would be pretty awesome to take down the track once.
Yeah.
Seeing you drive the funny farmall, the little funny farmall Gladwin would be worth the price of admission.
That's why I asked if weight mattered, because you walk around Hillsboro and you see that they have about, I don't even know what those little small weights are, but they don't have 100 pounds of movable weight out front. So I know automatically when a driver weighs 150 pounds that I'm out of that discussion. But I had the opportunity when I was selling the Madness tractor that Aaron and Lyle Hall let me drive their Elky Super. And that was a pretty neat opportunity. I'll remember that forever.
I remember that. It was in Waupun, wasn't it?
No, it was actually Plymouth.
Plymouth? Okay.
The hometown fair.
It was up north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had bought the Madness tractor, and we melted it down. And I think JR might have been driving it that night, and he melted it down, and Aaron let me take his first spin, because at that time Badger State allowed the Elkies and the Pro Stocks to pull together, and I was real close to pulling the trigger on buying Aaron's tractor, and I'm a smoke guy. That's the only thing that dissuaded me from not doing it.
Yeah, we still let the Elgals run with us if they show up, but they just don't come around anymore.
They don't come, but that was a pretty, oops. Oh, there we go. Sorry. That was a pretty interesting group when you got Kendall, Cleveguard, and all them guys that come down, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't drink anymore, because them guys, holy crap.
Yeah. They like all mini rods now too.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't anymore. The son-in-law has one yet. One of the last chassis what they had, but he, he's got a carbureted small block, and he runs up with Badger dirt flingers, and then he usually goes to Shipshewana and a couple other pulls, but Greg Nordahl's his name.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Well, I know for a while there, Dave Fund, does he still do anything in the tractor pulling world?
I don't know. I think he'll build some stuff up there for some guys.
He had the Mr. Ed Light Super, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he still builds chassis type stuff, guys, but I'm not 100% sure. If anybody's watching, if they know, that'd be great. Dave's out of the Mondovi area.
Yeah. Well, I think originally one or two of the Galat tractors were built out of Dave Fund's shop, but I'm sure those have since been upgraded and changed.
The Galat tractors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old Mr. Ed is in California, and that chassis come down to Craig's and got the McCormick tin work on it, and it's called Lights Out. That one's it's a pro stock, super stock that runs in
He's got a 5-inch. I saw it when I was out there, John, and the gentleman that had it passed away from cancer. And the last time he drove it, I had a GoPro in the middle, and he took out the GoPro. They had a Jersey barrier down the middle. I'll show you guys the video, but it's a beautiful tractor. So
yeah, Craig Bauman did that one too. I helped on some of the stuff on that project with Craig too, making brackets and whatnot. But Craig did that one too.
Gotcha.
Somebody typed into Facebook, did Carl Kahn try a 7-inch turbo once? Did anybody know that?
He was going to get one from Missouri.
Brian.
Brian.
Gary Brinkmeyer had one on too. Connors.
Yeah, it was a 175-pound turbo, I think it was. And Gary tried it too.
Yeah,
it worked, but not. I mean, I think Gary ran it for a season almost.
I think so too. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That was a long time ago. Yeah, but it didn't do what these new ones are doing. I don't think we need any bigger turbos. We really don't. because I don't want to fix anything. I want something that's going to live.
Right.
Yeah, and cut. Stop right there where you guys are at. Yep.
Right. Well, I remember being in Louisville about 15 years ago and talking to guys about guys, we need a limit. I was in the pro stock class then, but there was nobody'd want to come out and say it, but they wanted limits on the turbos, and it was a 5-inch turbo that night. I said, that's big enough, guys. Let's just stop here. I ain't stopping, Rob. This is pro stock. We'll run whatever we can run and break. 80% of them guys that were saying that in that meeting are gone now. They aren't pulling anymore. So I was kind of laugh at that a little bit, guys. There's guys that got deep enough pockets that'll keep going, right. But there's the average guy like us. If I break mine, I'm done for the season, more likely.
Yep.
Brandon Heller, who's on here, and he's the president of the ATV pullers, garden tractor pullers, probably where Emily's going to go for a ride, said it took 3 guys to put it on his tractor, and he lives right down by Brinkmeyer's in Warren.
I believe it.
Yeah. Brandon, good guy. Watch it.
Gary's tested a lot of stuff. He had that 12 plunger pump that time from Shides and ran that for a while. Tried to make that work. I mean, I don't know if
it'd be really nice. Obviously Weimer puts out a heck of a product, but it'd be nice if we could get back to 3-4 different vendors of pumps and turbos that put a little difference in the class. Right now, if you're not running a Weimer pump and charger, you're not winning. And the days of Hypermax and Columbus, and I know Dennis is working on some stuff, but it'd be nice to get some variants out there again.
Right. Well, somebody will. There's always somebody trying to build something, and all of a sudden it'll work for them. That's right. That happens all the time.
Well, I've talked to a lot of people, Craig, and there's way more 3x3s and 3x4s and 4-1s than there is big pro stock chargers.
Yeah.
And the amount of time invested into a big pro charger or a pump. And there's, how many pro stocks are there, guys? 50, 60 in the country?
I would say 50.
Yeah.
50
running. I
right.
know Louisville, there's years that they're scratching to fill all the spots. You know what I mean?
Well, so, I'll be honest, and it's not a secret, but had that component chassis rule come out a year ago, I wouldn't have built back to a pro stock. I'd been a light pro.
Yep.
Yep.
I might have been too.
It's that class is awesome. I love the show they put on, and I know you're not everybody's for this new rule, but you're gonna see a lot of component pro stocks that have been parked that now have an opportunity to come back out in the 540 class that just flat out, not because they can't afford it, but maybe they just don't want to afford it. Right. These big pro stock motors.
Right. Well, and they're leaving the cast tractors get to stay at 8,500, and then the components are going to be at 8,300. So that's going to even them up a little bit, I think. I would hope.
Yep.
You're talking about that new light pro rule?
Yeah. Yep. I was talking to John Mears. I talked to him a couple weeks ago about it before he put it out there. And it's only on the Silver Series right now. But I can see how all the state organizations probably adopting it once you get a year under your belt with it. That's the easiest way to do it. If you're a state organization, take the national rules. Then you don't have to make up rules, and you let them decipher everything is the way I feel about it.
Right.
And if you're going to state club, you're going to build something that's different. That's hard to get it out there. It has to start from the top.
Yeah. And the good thing about that too is getting, where you can go anywhere and pull it. The rules are the same.
Yep. You can go to your Hillsboroughs, your Thomas, and all these other big bulls if they have your class there.
You guys keep chatting, okay? Talk as long as you want. I got to switch over and start Let's Grow Pulling live. I got Mike Witt on tonight from the farm show. Greg, did you guys sign up for the Puller Happy Hour yet for Thursday? Did you guys see that?
Yes. Yep.
Well, I heard you're buying drinks down there, so I got signed up this morning already.
Yep.
I thought you said you quit drinking. So.
I did.
Okay. Well, I'll have some water with you, Ladwig. So.
There you go.
He'll start again if you're buying.
Yeah, right.
But no, Craig, it's an honor to have you on. So excited to see the new tractor. I want to be the first one to get pictures of it up. So I'm going to be hunting you down, Ladwig.
Right. Well, I might have to have you sign one of those agreements where you can't share it with you, and I can send you a couple, but you're gonna have to keep them secret.
I'm gonna wait. I'm going to
You're
wait.
gonna wait.
They're called non-disclosure agreements. I've signed a couple of them recently.
Yeah.
Yep.
But seriously, you guys keep chatting because there's a lot of people watching still. Everybody loves Ladwig and Strandley, and people are kind of so on Elsing. But if you do put 2 out of 3, it's not bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we can't all be home run hitters.
Greg, just shoot me a text when you guys are done, and I'll swing back over and end this broadcast. Okay?
Okay, we'll probably be done in a couple minutes here.
Well, just keep going. Have fun. I gotta go. Peace. Love you, Ladwig.
You bet.
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
So I do think your parts, some of your parts did get sent out to paint, Craig. I don't know if you've talked to Craig Wildman much.
Oh, I seen a picture today. I mean, it's paint. The hood's all in there, and the motor's put in the chassis already. So, I had some few select words that I'm not going to share today, but it got me awful excited.
Yep, perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, I even seen your tractors down there. I'm not sure what they're doing to her, but the hood and all that was off.
Well, we got to get the exhaust built for it, and my computer has never worked. I said we got to get this thing working one of these years. And I'm not the computer guy.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, with these new motors like that, it's almost a must nowadays just to know what failed.
Yep.
Right.
It is. It has to be working. Just so you know something's going south.
Right.
Just once you get it dialed in and everything maintains the same, you can watch a computer, and if there's something, fuel pressure going down or boost pressure, you can try to figure out if the timing's slipping or whatever. You can look for something when you know something's going bad.
Exactly. No, I can't wait. It's the I'm not gonna say the hard stuff is done with now, but every day, because of how close we are to Louisville, it just looks like so much is getting done to the tractor, but it's just everything's getting painted and everything's put together and everything's already been fabbed up. So it'll be neat.
Well, I think next week we're talking. John and I talked about getting Travis Wildman on and right out of their shop and having him on the show next week. So
there you go.
Maybe we'll get a little glimpse of everything going on down there, but probably not your tractor. They'll have that under a tarp again. But
right.
That part of the shop tarped off, no admittance.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you for the evening here, guys. It was fun.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Craig.
Absolutely. We'll see you probably next week or the week after. I'm for sure.
Probably see you sooner than that. So
you bet.
We'll see you later.
I just hope when you sit. I just hope, Craig, when you sit on that, you have just the biggest smile on your face as you did when you sat on the red one the first time.
Right. I'm sure I will. I mean, like I said before, I'm very humbled and honored and blessed to be able to do what we do at the level that we do, and it doesn't come easy, and there's a lot of sacrifices to be made, but we're gonna give her another try at it this year, and see. I don't know how many events did we end up with, Greg, for the pro stock class? Any idea?
I'm thinking right now it was 16. The last I counted. Talked to Pecatonica. We had to talk with them, because the guys voted not to go there this year.
Okay.
Today, and they really want us there. I don't know. They're putting the pressure on, so 16 is about it. But
right.
It's easy to sit in that room and tell people we don't want to go there, but I got to be the guy that tells them that,
Well, right. And I mean, Sheboygan was kind of the same way, and we got a reprieve right now anyways. But yeah, I don't envy your position at all, because everybody wants that class there, and tracks have come a long way, and if somebody has a bad experience on the track, well, then they don't want to go back again. But if
that track does need some work.
Absolutely,
it does. And honestly, I think the guys want to do this, so they do. Now they are doing something to it, supposedly. Yep. So that's sometimes that's what it takes. You can talk about it, and nobody will say anything to the guys there, right away. And then when you do say something, it's fine. No, it's not, guys. We can't do this anymore.
And Scooter and Ray and them guys down there, I mean, if they, like you said, they have the resources to redo that track or to try to make it better. So that's fine.
Yep. It's just this year. Next year, if they make the track better, it's no problem going back.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
So good
you got
deal.
anything else, John?
No, I think I'm good, and some good comments on here. It's really nice talking to you, Craig. Thank you for coming on and joining us. And like everybody else, they're waiting patiently to see the new ride, and I can't wait to see it in Louisville, whether I watch it on the live stream or what. So best of luck to you. If I don't see you, I hope someone takes a picture of you down to Craig's when you jump in the seat and sit in it the first time, because I can still see your face when you got in the red one and you had a grin on for, days when you sat
Absolutely. Well, isn't that why we do this sometimes?
It
Yes.
is.
It's
It
to
is.
remove
Hard to see that.
ourselves.
Hard to see that smile on that Grizzly Adams beard there.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
So we're supposed to be going to Louisville as the Mustache Mafia from Wisconsin. So you got a big head start on everybody.
There you go. I hear a lot of jealousy in your voice, Greg, but I'll teach you someday how to grow one.
Well, mine's white. What'd you say? I didn't
said
hear it.
I'll teach you how to grow one someday.
All right. All right.
There you go.
I'll teach you how to grow some hair then.
Right. I can, from here down, I'm totally fine. It's from there up that I struggle with. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, have a good night, you guys.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, John.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for watching Down and Dirty with Badger State. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yep. Good night.
Night.